everyone, welcome to Finally Friday. This week I'm going to make a standard size card. So I've cut a letter piece of cardstock in half and then folded that in half again. You always want to score your paper if it's not going against or it's going with the grain of the cardstock. Otherwise you'll get some cracking, just so you know. I'm going to be punching out some pattern paper. These papers that I'm going to be using today are from SEI's Winsor collection. They're all specialized papers, either foil stamped or shimmer papers or flocked. It's a great set of papers, especially since they're fall colors, and great for family albums or things like that. So I'm going to be making sort of a thank you card for someone, and so I thought these would be a nice, rich color palette for that card. So anyway, these are the papers that I'm using today, and I'm just using a regular square punch. A variety of different companies have square punches. And I'm going to be arranging them in sort of a window shape on the front of the card. So I'm just going to see how those place, if they're, going to fit on the card or where I need to place them. And I always do this before I adhere them down, just to be sure that I have them in the right spot. I'm planning to tie some ribbon around the front of the card, so I'm just measuring that out now. I usually kind of loop it in half to make sure, so it'll be wrapped around the card, and then cut that off. And I'm going to set it aside for a minute. I'm going to be working on the main sentiment area of the card. I have a metal edge tag. This metal edge tag is from Stampin' Up, but you can also use a Making Memories tag maker or anything like that to get a circular shaped tag. I'm going to be stamping some words onto the front of the tag. I'm using a mini alphabet stamp set. Hero Arts also has a couple different mini alphabet stamp sets that you can buy from the two-piece store. Similar sizes, same look. And it's a really easy way to make a small sentiment and customize it to whatever word you would like. So I'm going to be stamping So Grateful for You in different colors of ink. I stamped Grateful in a nice brown color, and I'm going to be using this gold ink from the Colorbox Christmas Q stack of inks. I believe these are put out by Hero Arts, and they are also available in the two-piece store. I really love this gold ink. It might smear just a tiny bit if you touch it a little bit too soon, but it's a really versatile ink. It doesn't show up very well on dark-colored cardstocks or if you have a cardstock base other than white, but it's awesome on white cardstock and also on these tags. And I really want to pull out the gold color that's on the foil, on the pattern paper, so it was just a perfect combination. Now I'm using a really small heart stamp, and I'm stamping it once at full strength, and then I'm going to just keep stamping over and kind of let it fade over to the side. Now I'm going to adhere those cut squares of paper to the front of the card. I'm using a Tombow Mono Glue. It's a tape runner, and I absolutely love this adhesive. Some of you may have had problems in the past with it staying permanent, but I haven't had any problems as long as I press down the paper after I adhere it, if I press it really hard. And if I don't skimp on it. I mean, realistically, it will not stay if you only have it in the center of your paper. You have to have it on the edges, and that'll hold it down. Put a little too much on that one, but you get the idea. These last two, I believe I just put 2 little strips on them. So super easy to use, and I also really love them because you can refill them really, really easily without difficulty. So I really love this adhesive. I'm adding the tag to the front of the card, and then the very last step is to just add that ribbon that I cut earlier. This is how I add ribbon to the front of a card over a fold. I take a really small nick out of the fold, so there's a slight little gap for me to slide the ribbon through, and I'll thread it through, and then I'll just tie a bow. Super easy, and it's also one of the easiest ways to add a little bit of interest to your card is to add some sort of soft fabric element, and I usually find that with ribbon. So here we go, and there's the card. And thanks for watching this week's Finally Friday video, and I'll catch you next week.